people love these characters. That's the most important thing. So it's my job as a writer to get it right, and as a fan, I kind of get that satisfaction of doing a job well. Well, I think people will be excited about Shadow of the Sith because this is the big story that we hear about in The Rise of Skywalker, where Lando Calrissian, when he first meets Rey, tells her that he and Luke were chasing Ochi of Bestoon, this great Sith assassin who was hunting for a wayfinder in the way to Exegol. So for me, this is the story that I wanted to learn about when I saw the movie, and now here it is. For me as a writer, that's a real creative challenge, but I really enjoy it because, you know, these are characters, if you look at Luke Skywalker and Lando Calrissian, that people have loved for 40 years. So they know them better than people in real life almost. So you have to really get it right. And it's just something that I really enjoy. As a fan myself, thinking about what I would want to read in these books as a fan, and then to be able to kind of put that to practice is really a cool thing. For this kind of book, there's a real level of preparation that I need, and it's one of those things because I'm a fan. So if I start off with Star Wars and watching, for example, for this book was Rise of Skywalker, you know, again and again and again and again. But then I'm a fan, so I get in like the Wikipedia rabbit hole of looking up characters, and then I find other stories and comics, video games, novels, and I end up with a massive reading list to kind of just study, which is great because on the one hand I can't believe I get to do this and write a book, but also it's just so much fun, and it's the whole thing of like wanting to make sure I get the story right. Lando Calrissian is one of my favourite characters from Star Wars. I mean, he's the man with the plan, he's the gambler, the scoundrel sometimes, the entrepreneur, the Baron of Bespin Cloud City. So he's just so much fun because we have this amazing performance from Billy D. Williams in the original trilogy and then Donald Glover in Solo. So I could really draw on that for creating the character of Lando as we see him now, many years after Return of the Jedi. Star Wars Shadow of the Sith is set sort of about not quite 20 years after Return of the Jedi. Lando's in a different place. He lost his daughter to kidnapping 6 years before the book, and I really tried to get into his head and like what would that do to someone like Lando, because we know what Lando's like. Lando's the man. But when his life is turned upside down like that, it was really this opportunity to develop a main character of Star Wars, which you don't often get to do. He's still the Lando that we know and love, but he's definitely in a different place. Older, wiser, a bit of regret, a bit of guilt, but he's looking for his daughter, and when he finds this new Sith menace and goes to Luke Skywalker because Luke is the man who knows all about the Sith. This really gives Lando a chance to like rekindle that fire that he thinks he's lost after all these years. It's kind of tricky for writing IP or tie-ins or license, whatever you want to call it. You have to be true to the source material, and this is where it really helps to be a fan of what you're doing. And I mean, that's why we kind of all got into this in the first place, because we're fans and we want to create. The first stuff that I ever wrote as a kid was Doctor Who fan fiction, which was the perfect way to start because I loved Doctor Who. I love Star Wars. So yeah, you just kind of have to do that balance between fan fiction and something which is accessible to people.